Hello, everyone, and welcome to another SSCCC candidates for the 2021-2022 election video. That was a mouthful. Today, I am joined by Fiza Syed. She is a student at De Anza College. She is a member of her student government's finance committee, and she is running for a position as Vice President of Finance with the SSCCC. Fiza, thank you for joining me.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, Claudia.
Thank you. So let's start off with the first question. Money is often a delicate subject, especially for students who struggle financially, like community college students. How would you assure them that their student rep fees are in good hands within the SSCCC as opposed to their own?
Yeah, of course. So the $1 of the $2 student representation fee is expended to support our operations, which helps the Student Senate for California community colleges to establish a sustainable foundation for the statewide community college representation and advocacy. And so I can assure you that, their SRP is in good hands because we're students in the SSCCC. We know the struggles of community college students, and our advocacy work surrounds that purpose, which is to serve community college students in particular with their best interests at heart.
Okay. And this might be the second time that one person runs for this position. I know this year we have a lot of SSCCC positions, student leaders running unopposed, and you are the only person running for this position. Why do you think that is?
I think the role of Vice President of Finance in particular can be intimidating to a lot of students. And a lot of students do associate student advocacy and student senate in general with poli-sci majors. And they might get intimidated by all the poli-sci majors they see because it is quite heavily dominated in every student government. But that's far from the truth. My personal student government at De Anza, I've met so many incredible people from so many different backgrounds, and that really encouraged me to take part in student advocacy at the statewide level. So I think it's also the fact that a lot of people don't know about the SSCCC and the work they do. And so that's why the specific role of Vice President of Finance might not appeal to a lot of people.
Thank you. And I know, Fiza, you are an international student yourself, and you've mentioned in your candidate statements that one of your goals is to bring more representation for international students. If you're elected Vice President of Finance, how do you plan to incorporate this mission into the position of VPF?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking that question. I feel like international students are underrepresented. We do pay at least for myself, I pay 6 times more than the Californian citizen. And so I feel they do not get the representation they deserve. So if I am elected, I do want to look into scholarships and financial aid for international students because a lot of financial aid does not apply to them. They're not eligible for that. So I want to support them in that specific term, but also I want to represent them and their needs, what they need. Yeah.
Thank you. And another thing that you've mentioned being one of your priorities if elected is housing, food insecurity, basic needs. And I know this is a very important issue for a lot of student leaders. I understand it's also something that a lot of colleges are talking about as far as increasing the funds for this. But how much responsibility would you say the state has in filling these needs as opposed to colleges and students? Because I know community colleges are taking a lot of the blunt of that. When should the state be able to step in?
The state has a crucial responsibility in meeting these needs. Recently, the state's 116 community colleges are expected to receive about $2.2 billion in total. And I genuinely believe that this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the colleges and students advocating for these basic needs. And so when it comes to responsibility, I think it has the biggest responsibility among students and colleges. But at the same time, it is the students and the colleges that are advocating for these needs. And if we weren't advocating, we wouldn't have received this funding. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. And lastly, and this is a question I'm asking every student leader who's running for a vice president position. If elected, what do you expect from the SSCCC president you will serve under?
Yeah, of course. I think collaboration just amongst the different, like all the board of directors, also collaboration with the UC and the CSU Student Association. I feel like it's really important for the SSCCC to work with them, and that's what I expect.
Okay, thank you. Well, that wraps up all the questions I had for today, but I do want to give you the floor for just 30 seconds. Anything you'd like to say to the students watching?
Of course. So yeah, I just want to say that the SSCCC in general, all the work that they do with the students' best interests at heart, and all of our advocacy work surrounds that. And I really hope that this year, when whoever is elected, we're able to really, really represent that, and we're able to show that into the work we do. And so, yeah, I think that's all.
Right on schedule. Thank you. Wonderful. So if students wanted to learn more about you or your platform, where can they find you?
Of course. So I have a personal Instagram that they can reach out to. So that's @_Fiza Syed. But also I've created an Instagram for my campaign, which is @Fiza for VPF. So they can reach out to me on either of those platforms, and I'd be happy to answer any questions or any concerns.
Thank you so much for joining me, Fiza. I really appreciate you taking the time. And for any SSCCC candidates who would like to have an interview, give a chance to talk to the students, please reach out to me. I will leave my information in the description. I'll also leave Fiza's information, her Instagram, so that you can reach out to her. Fiza, once again, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Claudia, for having me. Have a great day.